Hello all, this is Ramya from Spark channel. Today we are going to have a detailed discussion on the poem Once Upon a Time by Gabriel Okara. So in this poem, the poet laments the lost innocence of youth. Also, he condemns the hypocrisy of adults. He states that people adopt different masks for different occasions. Also highlights childhood as a time of honest laughter and spontaneity. So let's dive deep into the poem for better understanding. Who is Gabriel Okara? Gabriel Okara is a Nigerian poet and novelist. He is from Nigeria and it is a place in Africa. Like other African writers, he also touches the theme of colonialism and its impacts. He also talks about identity and cultural preservation in his works. He was well known for his experimental novel The Voice, which was published in the year 1964. And this poem, Once Upon a Time, was published in the poetic collection The Fisherman's Invocation, which was published in the year 1978. Also, it was awarded for Commonwealth Poetry Prize in the year 1979. Gabriel Okara is also called as the Nigerian negritudeist. Negritudeist is nothing but a person who supports the negritude movement. It was a cultural, political, and artistic movement that began in 1930s. It was actually a response to French colonialism towards the oppression of black people. This movement was led by African students in Paris, and it was sought to reclaim African culture and the value of blackness. For the better understanding of the poem, we have to know more about the setting of the poem. So, here in this poem, we have a speaker who speaks to his son. So, the speaker in this poem reminisces about the time when people were sincere and caring in their dealing with one another. He speaks regretfully about the present time when people are not like before. He seems to feel that people have lost innocence and openness, which he now sees in his young son. So, the speaker wants to regain that innocence of a child. Without further ado, let's dive into the poem. Stanza 1. Once upon a time, son, they used to laugh with their hearts and laugh with their eyes, but now they only laugh with their teeth, while their eyes block cold eyes, search behind my shadows. So the speaker talks to his son. He is having a conversation with his son. So the poem starts with the well known words, once upon a time, suggesting that what the speaker is going to say is a kind of fairy tale. Something is so far fetched, it might not even be remembered or believed. This makes us to think that honesty in expressing emotion is so rare nowadays that it practically is a kind of fairy tale to author, to the speaker. The poet creates a contrast between heart and teeth. He says they used to laugh with their heart and laugh with their eyes, which means here the heart and eyes shows genuinity, right? The realness, how people used to be once. They were so genuine, but nowadays people were barely laughing with their teeth. Nowadays their laughter was fake. So if someone laughs with their eyes, we can see their emotions, but teeth which are hard, white, and expressionless, reveal nothing. And the people's eyes have now become ice block cold, revealing no warmth. People are now dishonest and insincere, saying things they do not mean. Stanza 2. There was a time indeed they used to shake hands with their hearts. But that's gone, son. Now they shake hands without hearts, while their left hands search my empty pockets. So in this stanza, speaker continues to complain about the people who once used to shake their hands with hearts, which means they used to welcome in a genuine way, but now it's entirely gone. The speaker reflects on how handshakes used to symbolize genuine connections and trust, but now they are mechanical and lack warmth. The mention of left hand searching my empty pocket suggests that people are only interested in material gain, symbolizing exploitation or self interest. So, he again and again he says that people look for some monetary benefits nowadays, and the genuinity of the people were gone in recent times. So let's move on to stanza 3. So let's read the stanza first. Feel at home, come again, they say, and when I come again and feel at home, once, twice, and there will be no thrice, for then I find doors shut on me. So, what do you understand from this stanza? Here, the speaker keeps on registering his personal experiences with people. So he highlights the false hospitality people offer. They say things like feel at home or come again. But when the speaker believes them, and actually when he returns to their home, he met with the rejection. The doors were shut on him, showing that people doesn't mean what they say. They were completely fake. So that was explained in this entire stanza. Stanza 4. So I have learned many things, son. I have learned to wear many faces like dresses. Home face, office face, street face, host face, cocktail face, with all their conforming smiles, like a fixed portrait smile. So here the speaker tells us that he has learned to deal with this hard, insincere world by becoming just like all the other people. So he too learns to hide his real emotions and speak with words he clearly doesn't mean. He describes his behavior in an interesting way, saying that he has learned to wear many faces like dresses. So he changes his face, taking one off and exchanging it for something more suitable, like home face, office face, street face, and so on. We can look at these faces as a series of masked or false faces, which show no real emotions. These faces, unlike hearts, are not sincere, but they are not the faces of evil people either. They are, in fact, the social faces that everyone has to put on in order to deal with all the people they are likely to encounter in their lives. Most of us do wear different masks. We wear different faces. That is, we do behave differently depending on whether we are at home or the office or school or a party. The speaker acknowledges that they have learned to adapt. that he learned to adapt different faces depending on the situation. This reveals the mask people wear to conform to social expectations, no longer expressing their true selves, but instead fitting into roles such as home face or cocktail face. Stanza 5. And I have learned to laugh with only my teeth and shake hands without my heart. I have also learned to say goodbye when I mean good riddance, to say glad to meet you without being glad, and to say it's been nice talking to you after being bored. So, here in this stanza, actually, he says how he learned those things, those fake things, to survive in this dishonest world. So, in the prior stanza, they in the previous stanzas, he actually registered how the society was changed, but here he confessed how he has changed to live in this dishonest world. He continues to listing the learned behaviors that have replaced authenticity. So he says how he laughs only with teeth and also shakes hands without his heart. So his hospitality becomes completely fake. And also, he also learned to say goodbye when he actually want to say good riddance. So what is the difference between goodbye and good riddance? Goodbye is a word when we say uh, while departing from someone, right? So it can be like we want to meet them again, but we are saying goodbye with hard heart. But good riddance actually, it is a kind of goodbye, but it means you doesn't want to see the person again in your life. So that is good riddance. So I guess you understand the main difference between goodbye and good riddance. Also, he continues saying that glad to meet you, but actually he was not at all glad to say that. And he also uses the word like nice talking to you, but he was actually bored, right? So he has learned to say polite phrases without actually feeling it. So revealing the disconnection between words and true emotions. Stanza 6. I want to be what I used to be. But believe me, son, when I was like you, I want to unlearn all these muting things. Most of all, I want to relearn how to laugh. For my laugh in the mirror shows only my teeth like a snake's bare fangs. So here the speaker wants to be as innocently sincere as his young son. He wants to unlearn all these muting things. This suggests that he has learned how to behave in a way which mutes or silences his real emotions. He wants to get rid of his false laugh, which shows only his teeth like a snake's bare fangs. What is snake's bare fangs? Fangs is a teeth of a poisonous teeth of the snake. So he compares the snake's fangs, which makes the false mask like smile, which seems dangerous. Stanza 7. So show me, son, how to laugh. Show me how I used to laugh and smile. Once upon a time when I was like you. So finally, he ends the poem with the same line, once upon a time, right? So here in this final stanza, he says how he really, really regrets the loss of his innocence. But he also hopes his son can teach him. The speaker finally turns to his son for guidance, asking him to show how to love again with sincerity and warmth. This shows his longing to reclaim his lost innocence and authenticity, seeking to return to the time when he was a child, genuine and full of life. So, this is actually a simple poem, and first, here the speaker talks about how the world has changed. It was so cruel, like it says one thing, but it actually means different. And later he says how he learned to be fake to survive in this dishonest world. And finally, he sums up with some sort of hope. Okay, he also says how he longs and how he regrets for the loss of his innocence, and he wants to bring back that innocence. He wants to reclaim their lost in his lost innocence, and his only hope is his son. He believes that his son can teach him to become genuine again. So this is how the entire poem goes. I hope you understand the poem. Thank you for listening. Follow for more videos. Follow my channel for more videos. Thank you.